Hello, hello. Nice to see you again today. Yeah. This morning we are going to practice insight. Practice. I said many times that in the Buddha's teaching, in the Noble Eightfold Path, there are three pillars. First one is sila, kind of discipline. We can call it morality or ethical behavior, I would say. This is just cleaning somehow our life and living around the five precepts. This is the first pillar. The second pillar is the cultivation, the development of meditation to get samadhi, concentration, meaning serenity or tranquility or clarity and calmness of mind. And the third one is the development of wisdom, sanya or understanding, clear comprehension, and this is a very important part. So usually we might forget the five precepts, morality, then just dive into meditation, and also forget about wisdom or understanding or inquiry. And therefore, well, our life, we can then get some kind of well-being in the moment, because this is what also our meditation can bring, some kind of the mindfulness can bring some efficient stress reduction, and can also help reduce a bit of anxiety, but this is temporary. So your stress might be reduced while you are meditating, but if you are out of cushion and you have not developed wisdom or clear understanding, then well, life goes on, and let's say stress and dissatisfaction comes back. It's not completely uprooted. This is why it's important to develop samadhi, or we call it also concentration, or a kind of calmness of the mind, and then we inquire into our experience. And today I would like us to look at one of the five aggregates that makes our experience, which is called in Pali language, the language of the Buddha, Vedana. It's translated in English as feeling tone. And so I said several times that we have six senses. So the five senses that we know, and a sixth one, which is the mind, or let's say the thinking mind, right? And for each contact through those sense door, there is one Vedana, one feeling tone that is associated to it. I have to mute the person who just arrived. Okay. Yes, now here it is. So for each sense contact, there is a feeling tone associated with it, and these feeling tones are classified as neutral, pleasant, or unpleasant. And usually, depending on these three categories, then the mind will start to react to it. Most of the time, when it's neutral, we just ignore it. We do not even pay attention to it. If it's pleasant, it's possible that it triggers the craving to keep it or to have more of it, to wanting for this contact to last longer or to keep repeating. And if it's unpleasant, then we have the tendency to want it to stop. So we will inquire into that feeling tones, because then we kind of start to see the mechanism, or let's say what triggers our reactivity to our experience. It's like we start to understand the mechanism of our behavior. And it's reverse engineering. So because you understand the mechanism of the experience, then we can at some point kind of cut off a link between the feeling tone and when the reaction, the trigger, or the clinging craving starts to arise. And therefore it's a way to not lead to suffering. That's why it's very important, and this is an aspect that is either not known or that is underlooked, I would say. We will do that, trying to understand by direct practice, direct experience, with the act of seeing, the act of hearing sounds, and with the act of the physical sensations into the body. So I can invite you now to take your meditation posture. It can be sitting on a cushion, crossed legs in half lotus or lotus position, or it can be on an armchair. You can also stand for this practice today. Lie down is also possible if you are tired or sick. Walking is also possible for that meditation. Yes. Ringing the bell. For today's practice, for a short moment, as we will inquire in seeing and looking, I will invite you to keep your eyes open, yes, and relaxed. So you can bring forth some alertness, yet you can stay relaxed, open, and you can just connect for a moment to what you are seeing just in front of you. Very relaxed, eyes relaxed. And the exercise would be to just connect with the experience of seeing. Seeing what's in front of you. What is it to see? Seeing is different than looking. In looking, there is intention to go towards an object. Is it possible to just see for a moment? There is seeing. You can look in front of you, whatever it is. And then I invite you now to just look around you. You can move your head, look on the left, look on the right, in the room. You can look up, you can look down. And then I invite you to check if there are objects or forms in the room that triggers this pleasant feeling. So it can be a colorful object or an object that reminds you something pleasant. Keep seeing around, looking around. Is there any object that is associated with pleasant feeling? And then it's possible that you realize that your attention goes to that object and that there is the triggering of liking that object, and then some stories can start to build up in the mind. Now I can come back to just seeing, not looking, not searching for anything, just seeing. Just relaxing into the eyesight, and then you can start to look around again, and maybe in your room you will find something, an object that is associated with unpleasantness. maybe you won't find any in that special room you're in, but it can be a set of colors that you don't like, a stain on the wall. It can be something that is broken, or it can be, let's say, a conglomerate of objects that makes the room messy, and you don't. It feels unpleasant to see how objects are associated and put. Now I invite you to go back to seeing just the experience of sight. And now you can move around again, your eyes around, your head around, and find a see if you can find an object that is not related to neither to pleasant nor unpleasant feeling, that you can consider as neutral. It can be very simple. It can be the handle of the door, the frame of the window, the screen you are in front of. And realize how it is associated with neutral feeling, and how we have the tendency just to ignore those objects, those forms in our daily life, because they do not bring any satisfaction nor dissatisfaction. Yet they are there all the time. We just hover over them daily. That was the experience of Vedana, feeling tone for seeing. Now I invite you to close your eyes, to let the eyes relax. We don't need to use them now. And we put our attention to our ear, to the ear door, where the sound will hit the ear to make sound contact. And again, you can pay attention to sounds, either inside of your body, like the sound of the breathing, or outside in the room, or outside the room you're in. Now you can look at Vedana for each sound you are hearing. Is it neutral, just like the normal traffic? You're so used to the cars passing by, your room. That might be neutral. Unpleasant sound, it can be a dog barking outside, the neighbors vacuum cleaning right now. Or any kind of sounds that is leading to unpleasant feeling, and notice that there is sound and there is unpleasant feelings. They are not the same. You can try to see if the unpleasant sounds leads to start to trigger some reactivity and stories around it, determination, categorizing as it shouldn't be there. I would like it to go away. And now, on the contrary, you can open again your ears, let's say, and see if all the sounds are pleasant. Maybe the bird song, some nice music, and see how our attention is attracted to that. Now we are coming back to the awareness of hearing. Including all sounds coming in. Including the sound domain or sphere into awareness, and not reacting to any sound, just hearing. Hearing is occurring. Just hearing, not listening, hearing. Now I invite you to put your attention into your body. we will inquire on the Vedana associated with physical sensations. Most probably in your body right now, your attention will be called by what we call pain. That an area that is either numb or painful, and we would like to change the body position in order to stop this Vedana, unpleasant feeling tone. Usually this is what is calling some tightness in the body, tensions, areas being painful, and just look at the unpleasantness of that area as it is. You can say painful, painful, or lightly noticing unpleasant. How is it to notice unpleasantness and to stay with that unpleasantness? Your attention might be called to another painful area in the body. Once again, notice unpleasantness, unpleasantness. And you can try to find some areas where there is some pleasantness. It can be the whole body, for example, after breathing meditation and using the breath to soothe the body formations. Or it can be the lips on the face. This is a very sensitive area. Usually there is no much tensions there. It can be pleasant to stay there. Or in the inside part of the elbow, very soft skin here. Or inside the palms. and all other parts in the body that do not appear, that are not perceived, like blind areas. Try to find one and have a look on the Vedana feeling tone associated with it. Most probably it will be neutral. For most people, the back is kind of ignored, neutral. The teeth and the gum around the teeth might be neutral as well, but you can also notice how paying attention to some areas might change the feeling tone. It can be from neutral to pleasant, changing. So I invite you to open your eyes whenever you're ready. And take your time to come out the meditative state and to move your body. I think this is a quite interesting and important practice, because in your daily experience, once you start to notice what you ignore or what you feel as unpleasant and how you start to react to it with the mind, then if you can stop only at the sense door, let's say, then you kind of cut the chains of consequences in your body when you are sick and you realize that how the body is painful and you just stay with the pain and observing in detail the feeling tones, how they evolved, and realizing that there is the feeling tone on one side and there is the mind wanting this unpleasantness to stop, then of course this is a quite new understanding about your own experience. If you clearly see the movement of the mind after experiencing the feeling tone, the unpleasantness, then you can observe it just as for what it is, a movement of the mind trying to get rid of the unpleasantness. And at some point there is just in your experience of course the touch, or let's say the physical sensations, and the unpleasantness. And then you can have body pains but not suffer from those body pains. This is key. This is key. This is so important. And I do not remember the details, but there was someone meeting the Buddha, and he tried to ask the Buddha to summarize the teaching in like one sentence, or let's say 2 sentences. Please give me your teaching, 2 sentences, then I can remember or I can apply, because otherwise too much complicated. And the Buddha, he agreed to do that, and he said something like, in the seeing, just there is just the seeing, look at just the seeing, and the hearing, there's just the hearing, in the cognize, only see the cognize, and so on with all the senses. This is what it means, that there is this experience and the sense door, and then if you can really see the raw materials or the raw experience through the senses, without being without the mind being activated by either the push or the pull of this Vedana feeling tone, then you are free. Because these sense doors are there because you are born. Because you are born as a human being, and they will be always there. Even when you will be, if you are fully enlightened or liberated, they are there, there will still be some sense impact, some input through those 5-6 doors. But then the entire chain of leading to the proliferation of the mind, or through, let's say, the mental formations, the stories, the inner talk, that contains actually lots of preoccupations around me, mind and myself, all of that just falls apart, falls away, like the entire card castle just collapses. This is why understanding and the development of wisdom, or clear comprehension, where the inquiry into your experience can lead to. And then you just start to see, to feel in the body, to hear, to taste. You can also do this practice while you're eating. Of course, maybe you can do that. It's almost lunchtime. Do it during lunchtime if you're alone. Yeah, see the try to inquire around pleasantness or unpleasantness, agreeable, disagreeable feeling after tasting some kind of food. Or you can also set up something like bitter, sweet, salty, and different things, and just look at the feeling tone and then how the mind reacts around that. When you feel that some food is very good, tasting good, and the mind starts to lit up, let's say, and say, oh yeah, let's take a little bit more. So it's great. It's wanting it to stay longer. But also this inquiry on the feeling tone on Vedana will lead you to recognize that it's very, very short. This pleasantness is very, very short. I don't know, I don't want to give some exact times. It's what? It's seconds maybe. And then the mind is called elsewhere. So, but it looks like, for example, the unpleasantness of food lasts longer. So this is another topic, the perception of time, depending on this feeling tone. Yes. So you can try also with food, yes. With taste and of course with smells. Yeah. It's perfumes, odors, how much we want to get away from bad odors. Yes. But feeling tone is just feeling tones when you realize that unpleasant is just unpleasant. And also inquire into the neutral Vedana. This is most of our actually experience. When you just sweep your eyes around the room, then maybe it will be caught up with pleasantness or unpleasantness. I don't know, 1 or 2 times, but look at how many objects it can see while sweeping through the room. It's maybe 100. And among these 100, there is only 1 or 2 that you kind of pick up, or that starts to remind you something, someone, a situation, a place you went. So most of, maybe it's 98% of neutral. So this is interesting then to see how the mind is, let's say, flared up during sense contact and through the emergence, let's say, of that feeling tone Vedana. So this is insight practice. I invite you just to do it as often as possible. And maybe next time we can also try with a feeling tone associated with thoughts. Yes, because it might be obvious for you that there are thoughts that are pleasant and thoughts that are unpleasant, and most of the time we want to get rid of negative thoughts. But as soon as we realize that there are thoughts and that there is a feeling tone associated to them, then we can apply some antidotes. And then just by this clear comprehension or this clear seeing of this feeling tone and the arising of the thoughts, then the process can stop. If we see also when the craving or the desire or the wish in the mind start to arise, and if we can cut that then the whole chain of suffering, let's say, stops. So that was the teaching of today. Thank you for your attention.